Hi, Controlled Chaos here. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Beginner's Guide. This will help you get started in City of Heroes and give you a lot of good information. If you haven't played City of Heroes, or if you have been playing a little bit, you may find this a little bit interesting. First off, I do want to mention that I have gotten a new mic, and this mic, I want to know if the sound quality is better compared to my previous videos and what you think. So comment down below. Let's go ahead and get into the guide. To start off with, I want to start talking about creating your character. It's majorly different from other MMOs, and there's a couple of reasons why. When you go into the server and you start off, it's going to ask you for your origin. Your origin is things like, is your character a magical character, a mutant, technology, stuff like that. This is mainly fluff and how you got your powers. It does play some role in other things like enhancements and things like that, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. After you've chosen your origin, it's then gonna ask you what archetype you want to play. Your archetype is your class. You have tanks, you have meleeers, you have ranged, you have buffers, you have pet classes. One of the unique pet classes that are in the game is masterminds. Masterminds, when you get them up to full level, you'll be summoning 6 or more pets out there. 6 of those pets will be permanent. They will stick around until their full health is taken out, and they gain powers as you level up, which is really cool. After the whole entire choosing your archetype, you're then going to be asked to choose what power set in that archetype you want to set. Select. There's a primary and there's a secondary. These power types are your abilities. Are you an energy shooter? Are you a sword wheeler? Are you a force field user? Different things like that. And there's a primary and there's a secondary power choices. With that, after you've done that, then it goes into actually creating the look of your character. Take your time in this area. Take a lot of time in this area. In fact, I recommend you set an alarm clock, and here's the reason why. In most MMOs, you spend at most maybe half an hour twiddling around with the character creation. In this, you'll lose hours and not even notice it. In fact, I had a friend who decided, oh, well, I'm going to start cooking something while I create a character. I normally create characters really quick. So she put a pan on the stove, put some oil in it, turned it on, went to go create a character. 2 hours later, she didn't notice that time had passed by. She realized it because there was smoke and the fire alarm going off because the oil had caught fire and almost burnt down her apartment. So, set your alarm before creating your character. I guarantee you it will be a lifesaver. Trust me, after you've created your character, you'll be put into the world. And there's a lot to the UI, but I'm going to go through all the parts to the UI. First, we're going to start in the upper left-hand corner and then go clockwise. That first part is your target. So wherever you've selected in the world, it will show in that area and on the main screen where all the graphics are. But in that main area, it will show the name of the target, the color of the target, of difficulty, its health, and its endurance. Endurance is like mana in this world. With that, you'll then move to the top center. In the top center, you'll see a compass. That compass, if you have a mission selected, contact selected, or a location in the world selected, it will show up in your compass, which is really nice. It also shows up the waypoint in the middle of the screen, just like when you select a target, it shows the health there and stuff like that. So after that, if you move to the upper right hand corner, there is your character's information and more. So starting at the very top of that whole entire selection is your choices for hiding different parts of the interface, whether it be your target, your navigation, or other things. On top of that, there's also your menu, which allows you to access your in-game email, your friends list, your supergroups list, looking for groups, options, and a bunch of other stuff. So check that out. Below that will show your health bar and your energy bar. And on some certain classes like brutes and dominators, you may have a third bar that fills up as you do damage and do things in the world. So keep an eye on that. Next to that, you will see a circled area, and the center of that circled area will show your level, or what is called your security level. And then outside that, you'll see an area that will fill up with little squares. Once that's fully filled up, that outer circle with squares, you will then level up. You go down to the lower right on the screen. This is where your inspirations and your power tray is. Your inspirations I will talk about a bit later, along with explaining power. With that, if you look at just above where the inspiration box is, you'll see a red dot. If you click on that, that minimizes your inspirations. You also see what looks like a hollowed out blue circle. If you click on that little hollowed out area, it will turn solid blue, and that will separate your inspiration bar from your power bar. And after that, just right above where your powers are, you will see things like powers, which will, when you click on that, will open up all of your powers. Next to that is inspirations, that will open and close your inspirations. Next to that is your enhancements, that will open and close and show your enhancements. And then you have your recipes, your salvage, and stuff like that. And I'll go over those parts, some of those things a bit later. Or next to the salvage, you actually have a little white plus button and a blue up arrow. If you click the blue up arrow, it will create another power bar for you to put powers in. If you click the up arrow again, it will create a third power bar to put powers in. If you click it again, nothing happens. That's where that white plus symbol comes in. Click on the white plus symbol, it will add another power bar to the UI that you can utilize. Now, to access these powers, power trays 1 through 3, 1 is just hitting 1 through 10 on your keyboard will access the power that's slotted in that power. Then if you hit the Alt key and then a number, it will access the second power tray. If you hit the Control key, it will access a number. It will access the third power tray. On the lower left side, this is where your chat window is, and it's broken up into 2 sections. The top section is where you will see world things happening, NPCs chatting, damage done, damage taken, experience gained, things like that. Below that, that is where the player chat is. And below that is your little chat section when you hit enter and you can start typing and stuff like that. If you look just to the right of where you type in, you'll see a little icon that looks like a chat bubble. You click on that and that will give you a list of emotes, and it's an extreme list of emotes with a lot of cool things in there, and some stuff just for role playing and goofing around having fun. So you'll have some fun with that. Now we've talked about all of that, I want to go ahead and go into what to expect once you get done with the tutorial. When you get done with the tutorial, you're gonna be sent to a contact. There'll be a waypoint in the world for you to go to that contact. Once you go to that contact and you take that mission, you don't have to go do that mission right away. There's more contacts you can talk to, and to get to those contacts, you'll want to turn to your right, move forward, and you'll start seeing to your left some stairs that go up. Turn to your left, go up those stairs, and in front of you will be some doors. Click on the doors and you'll go inside the building. This is the town hall. In the main lobby area of the town hall, if you turn to the right, go down that road, turn you to the left, and go downstairs into this big room with a bunch of doors. In this big room with all these doors, those doors lead to different origin specific areas: your science, your magic, your technology, your mutation, your nature, stuff like that. In those areas you have contacts. I recommend you go to the area for your origin and talk to the contact there, and the reason being is it will give you through a quest line that as you complete things, it will give you rewards of enhancements that are specific to Origin, which we will talk about later. Once you've done enough missions for Contact and got enough favor with them, you no longer need to go to that contact directly. You can actually pull up your contact list just underneath where your navigation or your compass is, and you can click on that contact and you can see a button has been added that says call. Click on call and will get you directly in contact with that contact to complete the mission and to get new missions or new contacts, which is really useful. When you're doing these missions that you gathered, you'll get experience, you'll get inspirations, you'll get enhancements, but you want to be careful and you want to keep an eye on the color of the mobs. And the reason being that you want to keep an eye on the color of the mobs is the fact that if it's gray, it's going to give you no experience. If it's green, it's going to give you very little experience. If it's blue, it's going to give you below average experience. If it's white, it's going to give you average experience. If it's yellow, it's going to give you above average experience. If it's orange, it's going to give you a good amount of experience. If it's red, it's going to give you a really good amount of experience. And purple, you want to watch out for. Purple, if you don't know what you're doing, you can really just get smacked down quick with purples. So be careful with purples, but if you can defeat a purple, congrats on you. I'll be amazed and shocked. I'm barely able to do it myself. It's only a group thing to take on purples. The other thing I want to mention in this game dealing with mobs is you have 3 different types of mobs in themselves that's shared across the board in the game. You have your thug mobs, which are like your trash mobs. You have your lieutenants, which are always a level above the thugs. And then you have your boss mobs, which are a couple of levels above the thugs. That's how that all works. We're going to go in and we're going to talk about leveling up. And leveling up, every odd level, you'll be given the choice of selecting powers to add more enhancement slots to. Every even level, you're given the option to choose new powers. When you hit level 4, you'll get access to the 3rd set of power pools that everyone gets access to. This has things like flight, super jump, medical, leadership, and cool things like that. That's how all of leveling works out. Now with enhancements, okay, and inspirations. Inspirations are temporary buffs. There are things like enhanced damage, enhanced accuracy, break holds, heals, resist damage, things like that. But they're only temporary. They last a short amount of time. Enhancements are where your big bang for your buck is. With enhancements, everyone starts with getting generic enhancements that anyone can use. And to use those enhancements, what you want to do is you want to click on that enhancement button just above your power tray. Once you're in enhancements, you're going to see a button above all of the list of enhancements that you have that says manage. Click on that. Once you're in there, it'll bring up a menu of all of your powers and then a list down below at the very bottom of all of the enhancements you've gathered. Take the enhancement that you want, click on it, hold, drag it, and put in one of the circles to the power you want to put into. Here's the thing. Those enhancements are set to specific levels. You'll see a number on those enhancements at the very bottom. That is based on the level it's meant for. So if it's a level 5 enhancement, and let's say you're level 7, that enhancement's a little bit weaker than what you are. But you can change that. And the way you can change that is, let's say in one of your powers, you put it in there when you were level 4. You're able, you got a level 5 enhancement in there. Great. It was green and now it's going white, or it may have gone red on you. You can take another enhancement of that same type, click on, drag it, hold it, and put on top of that other enhancement. What that's working on doing is merging the 2 enhancements together. A new screen will pop up showing those 2 enhancements, and then when you click accept, it will work on trying to merge those 2 enhancements together, and then it will take the highest numbered one and add a plus after it. What that is saying is that level enhancement plus 1. The chance of success of the merge happening is based off of how close together in level those enhancements are. So the further apart they are in levels, the harder of a chance you're gonna have of getting a success. This works on all servers except for Thunderspy. Thunderspy, you do not need to worry about this. Thunderspy is just one enhancement. It's good until you switch out to the new types of enhancements of duels and singles. I'll talk about those in a few. You can stack enhancements and merge enhancements twice. So you can do one merge and then another merge. If you see an enhancement with a number and 2 pluses after it, you've done the maximum amount of enhancements or merging you can, and you just need to buy or find a higher level enhancement than what that one is. So if it's a level 5 and has 2 pluses, it's an actual level 7. And let's say you're level 9. So you'll need to go out and find a level 8, 9, or maybe even a 10 enhancement and reslot it, and will replace that level 5 with the 2 pluses to that level 1 that you put in there. And that's how enhancements work. They just greatly enhance things. They do things that are really nice. I mean, enhanced damage, enhanced accuracy, enhanced hold times, enhanced defense, resist damage, enhanced healing, a bunch of different things. So take a look at that. Enhancements are gained, like I said, through missions, through taking out mobs, but you can also find them in stores. To find stores, you want to go ahead and open up your mini-map. You're going to find a little white circle with a $sign on it, and that is a store. And those stores can vary. Level 1 through 15 is just regular stores. Anyone can go to them and buy enhancements. Once you hit level 15 and above, and you're going to places like Steel Canyons, you want to look for stores that are of your origin. It will literally have your origin name, whether it be magic, technology, or whatever. When you go to those stores, that's where you'll run into dual enhancements and single origin enhancements for your archetype. With that, generic enhancements increase power. Dual enhancements are even more powerful than generic enhancements. Single origin enhancements are even more powerful than dual enhancements, and crafted and IO enhancements are even more powerful than single origin enhancements. And that's how you increase your level and your power as you level up, which is really cool. A few other things I want to mention about the map. In the map, when you want to level up, you're going to see a little white circle with a green person. Click on that circle. It will take you to the location of the level up person in your zone, which is really good. You also see green dots, which are specific locations and areas. You'll see a blue T, which is for transit, either through tunnels or through the monorail. You'll see other green circles, which are connections to other zones. If you see a red circle on the edge of the map, that's a connection to a hazard zone. You won't have a level up person or stuff like that. It's sort of a zone that's in battle or in chaos, which is really cool. I've pretty much gone over everything except for one last thing with the mini-map. One of those stores will be called Tailor. If you go to the Tailor, you can change the look of your costume and the look of your character. On top of that, you don't just have one look that you can choose from. You have multiple. You can get up to 9 different looks, so you can change out the looks. And there are animations for doing costume changes in the world. I forgot about one last thing. I promise this is the last thing. Once you hit level 10, 2 things happen. One, you start taking experience debt, and when you gain experience, half of the experience goes to paying off that debt, half the experience just goes into your experience. 2, when you log out, you want to be careful where you log out. And the reason being is that if you log out in the train station or the hospital or in the university or specific places, while you're logged out, they consider that your day job. Just like Superman's a reporter, Spider-Man's a photographer. Logging out in those areas, that's your day job. And you gain rest experience, which means that you're gaining, when you come back for a while, you will gain twice as much experience for doing things and completing missions. So you want to log out in those areas. I really hope that this tutorial was helpful to you and gave you more information on how to play the game. Thank you and have a great day.